Have you ever been ghosted before? Well, if you have, then that sucks. I'm kidding. If you have been ghosted before, then that might have been an avoidant. As someone who is an avoidant, it's not fun. Usually there's two different types of attachment styles. There's the avoidant and there's the anxious. Or sometimes there's one in between, which is a mix of both, which is an anxious avoidant attachment style, which is way more complicated, and I'm not gonna get into it. If you don't know what an avoidant is, then an avoidant is a person who is very deeply afraid of intimacy, of vulnerability, of losing their independence. And what do? They ghost people. It doesn't matter how much they want that person. I think that's what motivates them. But yeah, that's basically the reason why they leave. They're just so afraid of it that they leave. They ghost you. So unlike the avoidant attached, I keep saying avoidant attachment, I'm just gonna call them avoidants. Unlike avoidants, anxious people have a strong desire for intimacy, often pushing the other person away. These people often have a lot of anxiety, abandonment issues. It's actually developed because they've been abandoned before, and that's how it actually develops. It either develops into an anxious attachment style or an avoidant attachment style. Either way, they've dealt with trauma. We've all dealt with trauma. Unless you're perfect, then what the fuck? It often involves these types of people. It's either an anxious with a avoidant, and that's usually most of the case because I've dealt with them a lot, and this is basically what this video is about. Specifically a video about the perspective of an avoidant, because we're oftentimes very villainized, and we often get intentionally mixed up with narcissists, and that's just not the case. There's so many differences with narcissists and with avoidants. Avoidants are not narcissists, okay? We're just scared of intimacy and affection, and so we push the other person away. So I kind of just wanted to talk about all the friendships that I've fucked up. And I'm aware of just how terrible it is. I'm trying my best to break this cycle, but it's just very hard, and it's a complicated process. In the end, we're all just people who have dealt with a lot of trauma, and we're trying to cope, even though the ways that we cope are not the healthiest ways. But we're not villains. We may be the villains in a lot of people's stories, and I'm aware, okay, of just how hated we are. I do want to make a disclaimer though, that I am not excusing this behavior in any way, nor am I proud of all the things that I've done. I also don't have guilt, because, you know, if you have guilt, then you're holding on to something from the past. Forgiveness is always important, to forgive yourself, to just be free from all the past mistakes that you've done. I also think that it's very important for people to hear our sides of the story and why it is that we do these things, why we push people away. Realize that we're not all terrible people, we're just trying to cope. And if you're an avoidant, I want to show that you're not alone. You really are not. I don't know why I'm laughing so much. Like, this is not funny. This is some serious stuff. I've probably traumatized a few people. So there's 6 people in total that I've pushed away. There is one person though that I do believe that it was completely reasonable. I don't feel sorry for this person. I think she deserved it. Trust me, she deserves it, okay? That's the only one where I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. But the rest, I don't think they deserved it, okay? Also, my mom, she's the same way as me, I realized. She has these friendships as well, and she does the exact same thing, and then we just end up telling each other, and we're like, maybe we need therapy, honestly. Victim number 1. So victim 1 and I go way back into elementary school, I believe 3rd grade maybe. I'm not too sure, honestly. I don't remember. So this is back when I moved. I also moved schools, so I was always in these type of situations where I was always the new kid. I remember the first day, the teacher introducing me, hey everyone, we have a new student, this is Marina. and make her feel welcome, blah blah blah. And then these two girls came up to me and we became friends since that day. I was very close with person number one. She was actually a really good friend. So my dad and her dad actually went to school together and they were like really good friends. I think they were also best friends like us. And so I just found that kind of cool. I don't know. Dude, my right ass cheek is starting to hurt. So with person number one, we were in this very weird, not love square, what? Friendship square. We were in this weird friendship square. This other girl, we're just gonna name her K, and another girl, we're just gonna name her M. Me, person one, M and K. M and K were best friends. They were like very close. Everybody knew that they were like best friends. And same with me and person one. It was this very odd square because K and I have a lot of history as well. I don't know. She was like obsessed with me in a weird way. Dude, she didn't hate me, but like she acted like she didn't like me, but I knew damn well she did because she wanted to be my friend. And then she didn't the other day, and it was just like, what the fuck do you want with me? She would in a way bully me. She came up to me and she's like, you're so fat. Mind you, I was like 80 pounds or yeah, I was very skinny. I don't know where that came from, but I just laughed. Like I was insecure, but I knew that wasn't true. I knew she was just making that shit up, so I just laughed. And then her best friend, which is person M, her and I were also in a very weird relationship. Like I don't know if we were friends, we were frenemies. It wasn't as bad as K though. K and I were like, we were like rivals or something. I don't know. Also, this is weird, but I remember one time I was sitting at the lunch table with my friends, and then she just randomly came up to me and she sat next to me. I felt her hand rest on my thigh and I was like, what the hell are you doing? I guess they both didn't like us. It was just a very weird, again, frenemy square. So the way person one and I stopped talking, it was simply just because we moved schools. But it wasn't until I posted something on my Instagram, and we actually followed our Instagrams, but we just never talked. I think I posted like something to do with my school. We started talking again. We agreed to meet up, I don't know, catch up on a lot of things. It was pretty nice. I enjoyed it. But of course, I just had to fucking ghost her. I could see that she would try and like make conversations with me, and I did reciprocated that back, but at the same time I would like wait. Well, I didn't intentionally wait. I usually just respond to people in like 2 to 3 days because simply I just forget, and I suck at texting. I really do suck at texting. It's actually insane. I remember she tried to like invite me to this one place, and I deactivated my Instagram account because that's where she was texting me from. And so I deactivated. The reason why I deactivated was actually to just ghost a lot of people, which there's other victims in here that also got ghosted because I deactivated, because she would always be the one that would text me, but I would never text her first. I'm trying my best to like understand why I did it. I'm such a complicated person that I don't even understand some of the actions that I do. Like I don't understand why, and I'm the type of person that just loves to like improve myself and get to the roots of my trauma and why I am the way that I am. And this is the conclusion that I came to. A part of me didn't want to form that friendship, and I also felt like there was nothing in common that we had. Like, yes, it was nice to reconnect with somebody that I used to be very good friends with, like best friends with, but I just felt like there was nothing that I was looking for in a friendship. I feel like I'm like a perfectionist. Like I have like this whole list of what I want in a friendship. I crave emotional affection and intimacy. Like just saying that makes me cringe. I do, but at the same time it scares me, and so I push those people away. Victim number 2. Oh god, this one's a tough one. I'm reacting very emotionally right now, and maybe I need to heal that, because yeah, it's a lot. So this person and I go way back again. back in 2019. From there on, wow, it was insane. Like, you guys have no idea how crazy my life was, full of drama. And this is like the first year that I actually am living very peacefully. So I am trying to heal though. I'm trying to break out of those cycles, but it's kind of hard. So back in 2019, I was in this community. I had this account. Okay, I was like, what, 15, 14? I'm not sure. I was in this fandom. Okay, I guess I was well known. I don't want to sound like that person, but my posts did perform pretty well. So I got into this group. It was this group that people were just recruiting. So I got in, the group chat was made. So yeah, there was a lot of people there and I was so excited to like meet all these new people. And so we started chatting and I hit it off pretty well with a lot of people there. She was the leader of this group. Her and this other person were like the leaders of the group. I remember I found her really annoying and I didn't want to talk to her. I was like, oh my god, like shut up. Bro, I was so mean. Basically, 15-year-old me, and this is so cringe to say, but 15-year-old me catched feelings for this person in that group chat. I don't know how you catch feelings through a screen. I don't know how it happened, but it just happened. She had like a feeling that I was into this person in the group chat. This made me find her even more annoying. So this was a huge reason as to why we even became friends in the first place. It was very rough in the beginning because I remember she would like annoy me. Like she would spam me so much and she'd be like, oh my god, Marina, like who is it? I know that you're into this person, like who is it? Tell me. Somehow she guessed who it was and she's like, is it this person? And I was like denying it and I was like, no, like what are you talking about? Like leave me alone. I really wanted her to leave me alone. That's the reason why our friendship worked. It's because if you want to become friends with me, you have to go through like the 7 attempts of me trying to push you away. She managed to get through those barriers and she would just like annoy me and cling on to me, and so finally I just let her in. Ever since that day we just became best friends. I guess I would call her my best friend, ex-best friend, since I did end up ghosting her. So there is no happy ending to our story. I don't know, it makes me a bit sad just like thinking about all the memories. Why do I have to be this way? It actually became a trio. This person is important to the story because she eventually becomes victim number 3. It was me, person 2, and person 3. And we actually became a trio because of victim 2. Because she was the mutual friend and she knew both of us and that's how we met, blah blah blah. But I'm not going to talk about victim 3 right now because that's for the next one. Victim number 2 actually got ghosted around, I'd say around 2 or 3 times. I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3. I can't really remember simply because like my memory is very foggy when it comes to like that era, because that era was insane. So the way I ghosted her was I left the group chat because we were in this big group chat and I left. I think it was because my mental health was the worst it's ever been. I got to the point where it was just so much energy to just maintain this many people in my life, and I think like the intimacy again, like the connection that we managed to build was scaring me, and I don't know, it contributed to my mental health and I just completely disconnected with everybody. I left the group chat without saying a word to anybody. I wouldn't say I didn't care because I definitely did care, but I left and I didn't say anything else. They didn't know how else to reach me because I deactivated, and the only way that she managed to reach out to me was through my phone number. We never really texted on there. We just texted on like Instagram or WhatsApp or yeah. The people that I ghosted were very upset with me, and it was just this constant cycle that we were in. And it doesn't help that she has an anxious attachment style, and it's like a cycle, a toxic cycle that you just can't break out of. I remember her sending me like long paragraphs like saying how much it hurt that I just left like nothing. I was very upset with myself, but I'm not gonna defend my actions because I was pretty cold with everybody else. It's like as soon as I disconnected with them, as time went by, like it didn't hurt me, and I didn't really God, this is making me look horrible, but for many of us, this is basically our perspective. I'm not saying that this is our perspective for everybody. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but as an avoidant, this is how I saw things. I felt relieved to just disconnect from that connection, and it sucks for me to say that. Like, out of everything, I felt relieved. Really? I said that I just needed a break from everybody, but in reality, I didn't really have any plans to come back. I'm not sure. I feel like I have cognitive empathy. You understand why that person is sad, but you don't exactly feel it. Like, you can understand it, but it's just so much more different than a person who's just simply empathetic. And I guess for me, it was more hard for me to grasp the idea that that was a person behind the screen, and that person also has emotions. Like, 15-year-old me didn't understand that. I think I was 16 because it was after my birthday. Oh my god, it was during my birthday when I ghosted everybody. I think it was like a few days after because I was just so upset. And I think that's the reason why I hate my birthday so much. With having all the abandonment issues, it was definitely a lot for her to take. And she was just very confused as to why I kept doing that and why I was just leaving everybody like if they were nothing. So a year later passes by, and somehow we managed to connect again. She ended up texting me through an Instagram account that she had, and so she texted me and she was like, hey, like, do you remember me? And I was just acting dumb. I was like, how did you find my account? Because we didn't follow each other. But I think I waited a few days. Like, I saw the request on Instagram, but I didn't want to respond to her because I was scared. I was like, fuck, I don't want to build another connection with you again. Like, I don't want it to repeat, but it did end up repeating itself. We would talk almost every day, and we would just like update each other on our lives. And then Marina being Marina, I ghosted her. The way I ghosted her was just very, very douchey of me. She would text me a lot. She would like update me on her life, and I guess I would slowly respond like less and less, and I would take more and more time to respond to her. I guess that was like my way of slowly disconnecting with her until I just got to that point. And I remember her sending me a lot of messages about her life, and I never answered to any of them until she gave up. And so that's how our friendship ended. This was like in February of 2024 of this year. Okay, so why did I ghost her? I feel like most of the time she would just talk to me about her ex, and I feel like that's the only thing that we would really talk about. And I remember I told her, like, I got to the point where I just got tired of it. Like, yes, you can talk to me about your problems, but when it gets to every single conversation, it's just draining and it's not even fun anymore. But I somehow felt drained, and I think it was because of how much I had to like keep up with her. And in order for me to emotionally connect with you, it can't just be through a screen. Like, I feel like I can't really connect to you on a deep level if it's just through the screen. I feel like I have to have that person here in real life. Like, I want to constantly be hanging out with you. Like, my love language is quality time. And so for us to just be talking through a screen, it was just like, I don't know, I don't like those types of friendships. I really don't. Like, I prefer somebody who's here in person where we can easily just go out together. Some obsessions that she was dealing with, again, going back to her ex, and I didn't really want to surround myself with people like that. I think I should have definitely handled that better, like maybe communicate with people. I would also like give her constant advice about her ex, and she just would not listen to me. It just got to a point where I didn't feel like it was for me anymore. Victim number 3. So there is 6 people that I wanted to go through in total, but I'm actually taking way longer than I should. So I think I'm going to be making a part 2 of the rest. So victim number 3 was in our trio with victim number 2 and I. You know, trios, there's always something that happens with trios. I do believe they can work out, but from my experience, it's always been terrible. They just always end up terrible, and one person always gets left behind. Person number 2 was the mutual friend. Again, like I said, she was the mutual friend and she introduced us both to each other, and that's how we became friends. Person number 3, she's very jealous and possessive of her friends. So I'm surprised she like even got along with me, because I don't know, I thought that she was probably gonna hate me because I was friends with person number 2, but that wasn't the case. Like we clicked pretty well and we became very close friends, so it managed to work out. I don't know how, but it just did. The vibe between us is different than person number 1, person number 2. It's just different. There was more like banter between us, like this tension between us. I guess that was our way of showing love. Like we just teased each other. It was just constant banter. Our humor was also very heavy with each other, so yeah. I feel like all of my friendships were really like that, just like so much playful banter, and that's why when it comes to showing love or any type of love, I'm kind of like, whoa, that's weird. Yeah, it's like suddenly you compliment me and I'm just like, okay, like what do you want from me? I guess that's also why I struggled a lot to accept compliments. Like whenever somebody would compliment me, I'd just feel awkward, like I didn't know how to react. Or same with like words of affirmation. I don't know, love for me is just very tough. So with person number 3, I don't think she was an anxious person, but we were definitely high and low maintenance. So she was very high maintenance. If you don't know what that means, it's that you require a lot of attention, constant texting, constant calling, and low maintenance, which is like me. I can be more flexible when it comes to like contacting that person. So she wanted a lot from me. She constantly like would text me every morning, and it felt like she was my fucking girlfriend because of how much we would have to text every day. And for me, it was so draining. It honestly did drain me a lot, and that's the exact same reason why I kept ghosting her every single time. It's because of that. She was too much for me. I feel like if it were in person, it'd be much more different. Texting and meeting up is much more different to me. I prefer if that person wants to constantly hang out with me. Like I find that fun. But when it comes to texting, I'm just like, oh, I have to be constantly on my phone, constantly texting you, and I don't know, I don't like it. So like I said with victim number 2, the first time that I ghosted her was through deactivating and leaving the group chat. And victim number 3 also went down with all the other people that I ghosted. So yeah, she also ended up sending me like this long message saying, why did I leave just like that? Like she was more mad than upset. A year or 2 passed and we reconnected again. This is so weird because like as soon as I connected with person number 2, person number 3 comes in again, and then victim number 4 comes in, but that's for the next video. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, strange. It's like it all happened coincidentally. She commented on my post and there was like some passive aggressiveness to it. I always told people that no matter how much I miss a person, I will never text them first, and I guess that's just like my pride speaking. I don't think that way anymore, which I'm glad I don't, because that's just like a very toxic mindset to have. I actually did ended up texting her first. The reason why was because I was a little too up in the clouds, if you know what I mean. I impulsively just decided to text her, and so I texted her on Instagram. I think I came at her like in a very aggressive way. I think something happened. I don't know what happened, but I got mad at her, and so I texted her and came at her. That was an excuse though for me to like text her, because a part of me wanted to text her again, and so somehow it worked. I don't know how it worked, because we were like technically arguing. It was something. We got into like arguments. I think it was an argument or 2. No, yeah, there were a few arguments after. She said a lot of things to me that were crazy. Like the things that she just said to me, I don't know how I managed to like take that. And then after that argument, we somehow managed to make up, and yeah, it was strange. I don't know. But then some time passed by. I I was slowly like disconnecting from her. I could tell that she was still trying to like make conversations with me, but I just wasn't feeling it anymore, and so I kind of just took a longer time to reply, and I slowly ended up like not texting her anymore. Like I didn't try in the conversations, and I don't think she really, maybe she did see that, but she just kept on trying. But it just got to the point where I wasn't trying anymore and slowly let her down. So why did I ghost her? First of all, our friendship wasn't really healthy. Like I could tell that there was just so much possessiveness, so much jealousy, so much. It felt karmic in a way. Not only that, but I also kind of felt possessive over her. She had this other close friend that she met around the same time that she met me, or I think it was a bit longer. And I didn't want to compete with that person. And so because I didn't want to compete, I just kind of like turned the other way and just distanced myself, because I didn't want to get myself involved in that. I didn't want to get myself hurt. And so in a way I did sabotage our friendship, because I didn't want to deal with it. Victim number 2 and victim number 3 though did get a happy ending, because so I saw on her story. This is so odd because I never really go on Instagram and check other people's stories, but somehow it's like something pulled me to just check on her story. And so I did. I checked on her story, and guess what happened? They actually ended up meeting in real life. I know that online friends can meet up, you know, but it was just honestly shocking for me to see that. I was like, whoa, like they actually met up. That's crazy. And a part of me did feel guilt. I was just thinking to myself, if I never ghosted any of them, then maybe the 3 of us could have been that trio and met up. I don't know, things went the way that they did. I wasn't as sad as I thought that I was gonna be. I was actually more happy for them. I feel like I've grown a lot as a person, and a part of me felt like happy that they actually got the chance to meet each other. I don't have any resentment, or I don't have any like, I'm not holding anything against them, and I hope they're not holding anything against me. I honestly just wish the best for them and for all the people that I've hurt. So yeah, those are the 3 people that I did ghost. I'm trying to break this cycle, but it just keeps repeating itself. Like, I'm trying not to push people away. In the end, us avoidants, we're just coping in unhealthy ways and ways that we shouldn't be coping with. But it is not an excuse to treat other people like shit, because again, it's not healthy to keep doing this. I guess that's all that I have to say for now. It got so dark. Like, how long have I been talking for? Like, what? 2 hours? Dang, that was a lot. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe, because I will be posting every Friday, and I will be making a part 2 to this, because wow, this one took a while. I'll see you guys in my next video though. Bye.